Good morning. It's Friday, the 17th of August, 2018. Welcome to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Royal Berkshire, boys and girls. As always, a little text. Oh, hang on a minute. I haven't started off the chat thing. I haven't switched on the chat thing. I haven't switched on the mobile phone. I've kind of been multitasking this morning. On a Friday and a Monday, I have to put up lots of little posts on various different Facebook groups to advertise the upcoming karaoke tonight, which is here, boys and girls, at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Okay, that's our Friday night karaoke tonight, starting at 8:30. And I like to put that up on various different Facebook groups, karaoke groups, a couple of other little bits and pieces that I put it on. So that's what I was doing, multitasking this morning. Usually I'll wait until I finish the show until I do that. And then do it all after the show. But I thought I'd try and save a little bit of time, and I left myself right until that date came up, and I just tipped, and then I quickly turned round and faced camera number 2 over there in the corner. How exciting! Well, good morning to you, gang. Just to let you know, if you've got Windows 10. There's Claire, I've got your message. Good morning, Claire, on YouTube. I was just a little bit late firing up the YouTube thing. So if anyone other than Claire has sent a message, send it again and then it'll come now because I've only just opened it up, okay? If you've got Windows 10, there's a couple of 8 updates on there waiting to be done. So when the show's finished today, you might want to do those, especially if you're like in a work environment. Possibly DJing or something like that, and you play to an audience, you don't want the damn thing auto-updating halfway through your set, which is... I mean, that hasn't happened to me, but what happened once is that I updated, actually twice, on 2 occasions, I decided to update. Sort of, I was already in position once to do, it was both karaokes, 2 karaoke nights, once at Belushi's in London Bridge and once at the Golden Lion in Camden Town, neither of which I do now. And I'm set up usually 20 minutes or so before I'm due to start. I like to be early. And I decided to do this update because it says, update now available. I do it now. I've got 20 minutes. Worst thing you can do. Never ever do it if you're just about to start a job. Okay? I generally take the computer back home. I always bring it back home. I generally check once a week to see if there's anything I can do at home. And there's quite a large one to be done at the moment. So you might want to do that, gang, if you're going to work somewhere else. Now, I have been ripped off. I have been ripped off. Not yet, but I'm about to be ripped off, okay? I will explain all in a moment or two after I've said hello to some of you this morning. So, let's go. Let's go. First up on the YouTube, and the only person watching on YouTube this morning is Claire. Good morning, Claire. Where's everyone else today? What's happened in Birmingham? Has it closed? Good. No one in or out of that ghastly, awful place, Birmingham. How can people want to live there? Especially near to that awful Selfridges building. It's dreadful. Good morning to you. Over on Facebook Live, good morning to Adam the plumber, who's having a well-earned rest after professionally installing my bathroom. Good morning, Adam. Morning to Roy Brownlow. Am I first in? There's no prizes, Roy. I'm really sorry there's no prizes for people who get in first. Not yet, anyway. There might be at some point, but not yet. Stop asking. Them that ask don't get. My mum told me that. Mum, can I have another biscuit? No. Actually, she was nothing. If I wanted another biscuit, I would have one. Whatever. Those that ask do not get. I'm sorry, lovey. In fact, I'm going to make a list of the people that have never asked for the prize, and when the prizes come, I'm going to send them to them first, because you're so greedy. Can I have a prize? Can I have a prize? No. No prizes. Good morning, Roy. Is there a runners-up prize? No, there's nothing. There's nothing at all. Good morning to Roy. Chris, why do you make that silly burp noise on karaoke and read comments out when we watch? And why not read comments out while we watch karaoke? What noise is that? I don't know what you mean. Burp noise? What are you going on about? Are you listening to the right programme, dear? Do try and keep up with the rest of us. What are you listening? Burp noise? You're a very strange chap. You really are, Roy. Good morning to Ray Reynolds, SOS Gregorians there, Jerry Cashmore Smith. Morning to you, sir. Hello to Evan. Oh, Christ, he's in hospital next Wednesday for a knee replacement. Oh, well, good luck with that. Now, I've known a few people who've had knee replacements, Evan. Some people recover from it incredibly quickly. 2 weeks, one lady. One lady who used to work down the sports centre. She did. 2 weeks, and other people a bit longer, so I don't know. I think they tell you to keep moving, don't they? One of the worst things you can do is sit still. They certainly tell you that with a bad back. Oh, I hurt my back the other night. Yes, I was in like a bent over position in the living room alone. Oh, well. In the living room. And I went to pick up the chair. Some of you have seen the chair down the stairs, and I picked it up in the wrong way. Oh, and I just felt it right at the back. And then for 48, for the first couple of hours, it was really quite painful. But it's all right, completely all right now. But horrible. Well, good luck with your knee replacement. If only you hadn't used it so much. You know, were you a cyclist by any chance, Evan? I often wonder if cycling doesn't help your knees. Certainly jogging doesn't. Jogging's very, very bad for your knees, Evan. SOS Gregor. Oh, yes, hello again to you. Janet Samain. Good morning to Janet. Roy's got a Windows UPVC. No, not the same thing, Roy. What planet are you on this morning, dear? What are you watching this programme or are you just watching something else and typing random messages to me? I don't understand what you're saying, love. It's like opening the phone lines again to the people that used to call in there. God, I don't know what planet most of them were on. Would you like me to open the phone line today? It's still here. I haven't got rid of it. It's still here. Ray Reynolds says the Corbyn look is creeping over your chops like a Trifid, is it? This is nothing like the Corbyn look. I beg your pardon. Nothing like it at all. It's getting thicker. It's not longer. I need to have a little bzzz before work tonight. I know you don't like it, Ray. A lot of people don't like you, but I'm not telling you that, am I? How rude. I don't like the beard. I don't like your head. Get a new one. Elaine's getting a new head soon. Next week she's going in, I think Monday, an operation. Our good friend Elaine's going in. She's getting a new head. She hasn't selected which one that she's going to get. And of course, in these modern times, she can choose a head with a different gender. She can have a woman or a man or a cat or a dog. Anything that will be sitting on those shoulders. Yes, I think that is the case. Evan will be out of hospital as soon as I can. Yeah, not the best places to go, are they, really? Evan, 22 years, parachute regiment, knees, ankles and backs. Whoa, yeah. I mean, that's just how it is, isn't it? Well, good luck to you, Evan, when you go to the hospital, okay? Alrighty. Is that everyone? That was nice and quick this morning. Perhaps I should do that a little bit more often and do the messages early, the early messages earlier on anyway. Can't just sit here and read messages out all the time. Joanna, good morning, Joanna. We love you. Claire went to karaoke in Epsom last night. The place was packed, but it wasn't like Central and the DJ just played track. What, he didn't talk? Well, I don't know about that. We all do it in different ways. In the gay sort of side of London, there's me and Kevin Walsh, and we're very, very different how we do it. Kevin Walsh is very serious. That doesn't mean it's any worse or any better. He just does it in a different way, the same as me. I'm very fun. I want to try and make fun. I want to try and give people a fun night. Whereas Kevin's karaoke, which is very busy, is a serious karaoke. You know, if you're a serious singer, you want to go there, and he'll look after you there. Okay, let's have a look there. Where's the Queen gone? Oh, she's sitting over there on there. I like to change things around occasionally. I just haven't had time to put her. Well, I've forgotten to put her back up. How rude! If Her Majesty was only watching the show, she would have reminded me. I'm sure. Exactly. Good morning to Grant Boatman as well this morning. Good morning, Grant. Well, let me tell you. What's this? You're gay for the show. Who's gay for the show? I'm not really gay. I'm not. I'm just helping them out for a while because we're a little bit short of numbers at the moment. Although you wouldn't have thought it of the Pride, would you? That Pride's all over. I think we should have a Bracknell Pride. Yes. We should hire the Crownwood Community Centre here in Bracknell and have a gay pride at Bracknell's Gay Pride. I wonder who would be the celebrity doing that. Or it'd probably be that fat queen with bad hair and teeth who opened the Lexicon Centre a little while ago. Oh, he was awful. Oh, hello and welcome to Lexicon Centre. Gay, gay, gay. Oh, look at me. Awful, dear. Ghastly people. I like to take a more timid approach to things, as you well know. Right, let me tell you. So I'm about to be ripped off. I'm shocked. I nearly fell through the floor. Not before my mate did. You remember, yesterday I showed you my broken iPad screen. And in a way I did this. I was mucking around. I tell you, I was mucking around in the kitchen. I had a box which had children's toys in there because my great nephew, I told you this yesterday, my great nephew took a liking to my Lego caravan trailer type thing. Good morning, John Parrish. My Lego, what you call it? My Lego trailer thing. It's like a caravan type thing. Good morning, George and Arctic on Periscope. Good morning to you. Up at my caravan in Lincolnshire. So I thought, well, I'll have to get him one. The only thing is you can't buy one present for one child. If there's more, you've got to get them all one, you see. Right, just a second. 1 second, let me just do something again. Let's get rid of someone. There we are. I should have this open already, really, and do it like that. Where are we now? There we go. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing half the time here. I might have to do that later. 1 moment, please. We are now trying to connect you. Is that it there? No, can't get it. Oh, we'll have to do it later. I'll do it later. Doing it later. Okay, there we are. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So, so you can't get them one present. You've got to get them all presents, unless they're really small. So I thought, well, I'll get the kids some Lego. So I went up to Lego, the Mr. Entertainer shop. We got a little toy shop down here. And they didn't have the thing that I had, if you see what I mean. So I was going to go up to the Lego shop. I thought I'd check Amazon, and funnily enough, there was a special offer on. So I've got them, and they were all in a cardboard box, you see, on top of my kitchen worktop. I've got like a bit in the middle that goes like that, and you put your stuff on there and whatever. So on my kitchen worktop, in a box, and the iPad was underneath this. So can I just show you first what was in that box? So I've got 2 of these for the 2 boys. There we are. Lego City. Now this is, you see, this is it. This is the thing. That's it. That's my caravan. Now I've got one myself, which I put together myself. It says 5 to 12, so that's they're actually at the lower image, the lower rate there, that the lower age. I beg your pardon. So I've got 2 of those for the 2 boys. One's 5 and one's 6. I think that's right. Or they might both be 5. Or they might both be 6. Oh, I don't know. You know how it is. Too many of them to remember now. So I've got those. And then there's 2 girls as well, you see. You can't give the boy something and the girl don't get anything. Because, it'll be all tears. Oh, why has he got something and I haven't? You know. It's a little bit like adults at work, isn't it? Why has she got a rise and I haven't? It's a bit like that all the time. You've got to get them the same thing. So I got the girls, I came across this. Because they're a bit younger, you see. It's Disney's Frozen. Let it be, let it be. Is it let it be, let it go, let it go. So I got a couple of those for the girls. Disney. Shall I just display these here? There we are. And that's a little bit easier to build. And it's got Elsa. I like the bit in the film where she slaps the prince, doesn't she? Didn't she give him a good slap or something like that? There's a few people I'd like to give a good slap to, I must admit. So there we are. I got that for the 2 children, and that was those 2. They actually came in separate boxes, but 2 of them came in like a grey box, a big box, from Amazon. Which actually, for the first time ever, the box suited the item inside. It wasn't like a big box like that with that little item in there. That actual box from Amazon, for a change, suited the size of the gift inside. So that was all right, wasn't it? Hello to Lee in Germany today. Good morning, Lee. So, Ron is in here. Ron is sitting in the kitchen. The box is there. And we got this like thing, when there's a box in the kitchen, the other one, oh, what's in the box? Oh, nothing at all, I'll put it away. Say, oh, no, Carl, what's in the box? No, it's not interested. At which point I pulled the box off and guess what came with it? The iPad underneath it, screen facing down. And I have a stone floor. There's no lino on the floor. It's a stone floor and it went bang. And I thought, oh, no. Now, the iPad itself, it's a mini iPad. It's not even a year old. I think I bought it last November. That's right. I bought it last November, and I bought it last November because I changed credit cards. And you had 3 months. For the first 3 months of the credit card, you got 5% of what you spent back. So I was trying to go to the limit. It wasn't massive, the limit of that, and collect the 5%, you see, which I achieved in that time. So it's not even a year old yet. And I picked it up. And just tell me, Ron. He said, "Oh my God!" And I thought, "Nah, you're joking with me." And I turned it round, and it is smashed, completely smashed. Then I run my hand across it, and I got blooming glass in my finger, which I then had to come up here with a pair of. I didn't have tweezers. I used nail clippers, and I literally cut the glass out of my finger. You can't see it now, because that can be very dangerous, can't it? So we went on to the Apple website and we thought, and I told you this yesterday, we thought the price of replacing the screen was about 170 quid. I thought, what a rip-off. 170 quid to replace an iPad. Now, a new iPad, one moment please. A new iPad, oh, it's not there now. I thought I got that up. I think that particular iPad is just a touch over 400 quid. So I thought that's almost half the bloody price for a piece of glass. Anyway, so I told you about this yesterday, and then we finished the show. Anyway, he went down. I said, we better sort this out. I said, can you do it for us? Because I'm not very good with... It's so... the days of just, these are broken, these sunglasses, right? The days of just going, oh, hello, could you repair that for me, please? And you give it to them, and then that's it. It's forgotten. Oh, not anymore. You have to go online and go through endless menus, find this, find that, and nothing is easy anymore. It's not. I liken it to setting up a television. Do you remember when you had a television years ago? There were 4 buttons on there, and you would twist the button until the channel tuned in, and that was it. Not anymore. You've got to go through all these menus, this, that and the other, and I find it difficult. My mate finds it a lot easier. So he went online, started tapping away, and eventually he said, oh my God. And I'm like, what? He said, I've got the price wrong for the repair. I said, well, how much is it then? To replace the screen on a mini iPad of the model I've got is a little over £200. I think it works out to about, I think he said it was a strange number, like £216.37, something like that. How is that fair? That is absolutely outrageous. And I feel totally and utterly ripped off by Apple. Now, of course, you can take it to the little Asian man who's got a little shop in London somewhere and have it done for 70 quid probably. You can send it off. I see there's other companies on there. There are other companies on there online who seem to do it for like 175 quid. But I won't have that because I've seen this done before. And people who are very good at DIY and can do these things. I know a couple of people that have replaced screens only to find that then the phone doesn't work properly or whatever the gadget is. Over £220 to have a piece of glass put on because you've smashed the old... I mean, it's absolutely outrageous, that. And I feel totally... It's not often that you'll rip me off. I'm telling you that now. Very difficult to rip me off. Very difficult. And what's the choice? You either take it to Apple, have it done with their guarantee, and the service is very good. Or you take it somewhere else, well, we'll give you a 6-month guarantee. No guarantee that the damn thing's going to work after that. No, I can't do that. As I said to you before, a repair like that, fortunately, as I'm self-employed, is a tax deductible item. Therefore, that 220 quid will come off my tax bill. But nevertheless, it's so much money to pay for a damn repair. It's just outrageous. It really is. So then we start ringing up Apple. Okay, so when can I take it in? Well, of course, I can't do it next week, but I'll try and book it in for the week after. So the bloke answers the phone. Can't really understand what he's saying half the time, but nevertheless, he's chatting away. And first of all, it took him a long time to answer. And then the first time, you know how the music plays and then it just stops. And then there's nothing. And you wait. Have you been cut off? The first time I got cut off. So I did it again. Spoke to the bloke who was very, very polite and very helpful. It will say, can I take your number in case we get cut off? That sort of thing. If only they all did that. How many times have you been on the phone to say, you get cut off? No one rings you back. Anyway, he asked for the number. So we're doing this thing. His computer was slow. I must have been on the phone to this bloke for 20, 25 minutes explaining to him and giving details and serial numbers and all that. Because they ask for your serial number. Because a lot of this stuff would be nicked, you see, I suppose. A lot of stuff gets nicked and then they ring up. So, I can't get the code. Can't get into it. I've lost my password. Well, they want the serial number then, don't they? And then they will be able to tell, if someone's reported it nicked or something like that. That's why they want the serial number. And, of course, to see, if there's a general fault with that particular batch of iPads, I suppose, something like that. So we get right to the end of the call after 25 minutes. And he says, well, I can book you in for next Thursday. Well, I can't do next Thursday. Can I do the Thursday after? Oh, I can only go ahead a week. Well, why didn't you say that in the first place? I'm pissed off, and by now I'm quite pissed off. I'm quite pissed off now. I will say that. But I didn't, can we not book it? He said, well, the only other thing I can do, he said, you can send it in. Oh, right, okay. Well, how does that work? Well, we send you a box. You put it in the box, send it off to us, and it's all covered by them. You must use the box. Don't try and send it in on your own. You must use the only thing you must put it in is the box that they send it in. So that's what I went with. And I didn't do it immediately. I put the phone out I'll ring them next week. I take it into Reading Apple, which is like a day out, going there. They'll fix it there and then. But as the day went on, I thought, do you know what? I can't be bothered. Let's just get a box. And Ronnie went online and asked for a box to be sent. And Apple, I will give it, always very good customer service. They are very, very efficient, but horrendously expensive. Horrendously, not fairly expensive. What would be a fair price, do I think, personally, to fix an Apple screen? Maximum, about 70 quid. I think 70 quid, 50 to 70 pounds to put a piece of glass on a gadget would be fair. 220 quid is worse than extortionate. Absolutely worse than extortionate. So very, very disappointed, really. A new gadget is about 400 quid, but there isn't a new one out yet anyway. They don't come out. I think they come out in September, October, November, the latest ones. Mine's only a year old. No, I'm not going to buy a new one. No. So that's the story. So this morning I've got a text message from Apple informing me that a box will be delivered today. So, you can't fault the service on there. It's just the ridiculous, outrageous prices. I mean, not that they need it. Have you seen their profits? Shocking, absolutely shocking. So that was my that's my rip-off story, I'm afraid. You'd feel ripped off, wouldn't you? And I said to my mate, how do people who are on very low wages, I don't know, people who work in Starbucks or McDonald's or behind bars, how on earth do they... People, that's more money than people get in a week. Isn't it? How on earth would they afford something like that? And I've often been out places and people are walking around with broken screens and things like, well, why don't you just get that repaired? I can't afford to. And when I tell you the price of things... remember I broke the phone screen this year as well. That was like 140 quid for a phone screen. What do they do? Put a bit of tape on it, pull off the old glass, put another one on, seal it around the edges, put it in a box. There you go. 220 quid, please. Absolutely outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. All right. To some of your messages then, and we'll carry on with our little stories this morning. Good morning to the delightful John Paul O'Hara. Good morning, John. He does a little bit of television, like a little game show thing, don't you? With children's parties and that. If that's you, I think I remember you. Long time no see. Come and DJ again at West 5. No, thank you, John. No, thank you. Absolutely not. Not with that fat pig running the place. He's awful. Ghastly, man. Have you seen how he treats his bar staff? Watch him. Watch him the next time you're in it. He's an awful man. Nasty piece of goods. Good morning to Lee Breach, who's in Germany, who says, enjoying some sun here for 2 weeks. Enjoy the time there, Lee. I've never been to Germany. Very clean there, I gather, isn't it? Especially Munich. Munich. That's where we had the Olympic Games. Oh, they had that. They had the terrible terrorist attack there. Well, years ago. Was that the 70s? Munich Olympic Games. I think it was, wasn't it? Long time ago now. Maybe insurance by your credit card. I don't see how that. What insurance is that? I don't know what you mean there. Don't know what you mean there, Adam. Good morning to Danny Gibbs. Janet Semaine, good morning. The beard's looking good and it really suits you. I'm going to, Janet. It's only the old blokes who don't like it. Ray Reynolds hates it. He hates this only because he can't grow one himself. That's what it is. Every time he tries to grow one, he gets a bit worried. He gets alopecia off the chin and it all falls out in his dinner. It's awful. Grant, good morning. Go on YouTube. It's not just a glass replacement. Oh, do they do other stuff as well? Isn't it a lot of money, though, Grant? I'm sorry it is, mate. John says, I think you're better off getting a new one. Excuse to treat yourself. Every cloud has a silver lining. Yeah, but it is new. That's just it. There isn't another. That is the newest one at the moment until September, when I'm sure another one will come out, which is like, 3% faster or something like that. Not that you'll ever notice. I mean, you will notice if you've got an old Android tablet and a new iPad and you use them both, you will notice with that, because I've got a really old Android tablet, which someone kindly gave to me, but it's painfully slow. Painfully slow. The Apple ones, they're very quick, aren't they? My Xperia phone had to get a new screen, then I didn't work, and the news started coming off the screen. The new screen started coming off. £100 at Ice Smash in Westfield. Yeah, you see, that's why. That's why, John. Yeah, that's why I wouldn't. That's why I wouldn't go anywhere else other than an Apple. I would only go to Apple to have things repaired like that, because it just doesn't always work. John's put a big no there. No, I love you, John. I love you, John. I love you. Morning to Shania, who's a little bit late this morning. Good morning, Shania. You've missed my rip-off story, Shania. I've been ripped off, or I'm about to be ripped off. It's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. You'll have to watch it later, Shania. John Parrish is going to buy a camper van now so we can travel all over Europe. Oh, that's nice. I couldn't be driving on the right-hand side. Why can't they just drive on the left like the normal people like us here in the UK? That way I can park next to you for free when passing through. You're not parking outside my house, mate. What do you think you're going to do? Plug into my electricity and get some free electric here? No. Weird Citizen said it must be Ronnie's fault. He should pay. Get him in the helicopter. Never mind breaking your Apple appliances with his box obsession. John says I should have insured it. I don't believe in most insurance, John. And I tell you why. Because you claim for something and they offer you half the money. No, I won't have it. And I've broken very little things. I'm very careful with my stuff. And I sometimes work that out. Had I have insurance for everything... If I had insurance for everything that I've got, right, I would still be have paid far more in insurance than I would to just replace one item. I'm in a fortunate situation, whereas if something breaks, I can just pay for it. I bet, if you've got lots of insurance, John, I bet over the years you've paid a lot more insurance in than you've ever claimed out. I bet you have. I think it's just a legalised rip-off insurance. Anyway, so that's my rip-off story. There was a story actually on the two medical stories on the television this morning. One about those e-cigarettes. You know those e-cigarettes? Oh, they bleed and stink, don't they? Awful, those e-cigarettes. So, often the smell is quite nice to start with. But then you realise the smell just won't go. It just continues going. And clouds. You've never seen so much smoke coming out of some of these e-cigarettes. Normal cigarettes never produced as much smoke. On the BBC website this morning, it's time rules around e-cigarettes are relaxed so that they can be more widely used and accepted in society, MPs say. Nearly 3 million people vape, that's what it's called, e-cigarettes, in the UK. But it should be easier for people to use e-cigarettes in public places, the Science and Technology Committee say in a report. It says, after all, e-cigarettes are much less harmful. Now, notice it doesn't say harmless. It doesn't say harmless. It says much less harmful than normal cigarettes and could be better used to accelerate already declining smoking rates, the MPs say. They think the NHS is overlooking them as a tool to help people stop smoking. Cancer and anti-smoking charities welcome the report, but some public health experts said it relied solely on accounts by e-cig champions. Debate about the benefits and potential risks is ongoing. But earlier this week, a study suggested e-cigarettes were more harmful than we think. The MPs agree there should be more research into the health effects on those. And I think I do wonder actually. I think it's the case, like certainly with normal cigarettes. You know, with normal cigarettes. I mean, people didn't know that they would be causing cancer and things like that, did they? I think, if I remember rightly, I wasn't around at the time, but adverts on the telly used to be for cigarettes in the 1960s and 50s, possibly in the 60s, about the benefits of smoking, how they can help you lose weight and things like that. So I do wonder, e-cigarettes are fairly sort of new, aren't they? We don't know what's in 10 years' time. There might be people who are smoking these e-cigarettes now who've got some sort of completely different, terrible disease. It's not. I don't know really. Well, we wait and see, won't we? That wasn't the only interesting medical story today. Now this surprised me. Also, again on BBC's Business Live this morning. Anyone on a low carb diet? My sister's on one of those. She's on a low-carb diet. I'm not on a low-carb diet. Slimming World is not a low-carb diet. It's not. It's a change of lifestyle. Anyway, the story this morning. A low-carb diet could shorten life expectancy by up to 4 years. Bet you didn't know that. I didn't know that. Low-carb diets, such as Atkins, or remember that one, don't you? The Atkins diet. Everyone started eating more dead animals. Oh, I've seen it. Do you know, I'm talking to dead animals. I've seen an awful film on. I don't know why I look at these things. Awful film on YouTube this morning about Chinese slaughterhouses, donkeys. Oh God, it breaks your heart to watch such things happening. I mean, it just happened to be China. It could be anywhere. Could be anywhere. Anyway, back to the story. Low-carb diets, such as the Atkins, have become increasingly popular for weight loss and has shown promise for lowering the risk of some illnesses. But in the States, a study over 25 years indicates that a moderate cut in carb consumption or switching meat for plant-based protein and fats is healthier. The study relied on people remembering the amount of carbohydrates they ate. So that's interesting. A moderate cut in carb consumption or switching meat for plant-based proteins and fats is healthier, which I did years ago because I became vegetarian. It goes on. A study filled out questionnaires on the food and drink they consumed, along with portion sizes. From this, the scientists estimated the proportion of calories they got from carbohydrates, fats and proteins. After following the group for 25 years... 25 years they filled out these forms. Oh, I wouldn't keep it up that long. I won't even fill out these blooming things that, you know, when you make an inquiry, you always get an email now. What did you think of the service? Will you please fill in this form? No, I won't fill in your form. What do I get for that? Nothing. No. On a scale of 1 to 5, was it average, poor, good, very good, or fantastic? Poor. And then if you fill out a poor thing in one of these forms, you then get a little box they ask why, don't they? Not that it makes any bloody difference. I'm sure it doesn't. Anyway, they've followed this group for 25 years. Researchers found that those who got 50 to 55% energy from carbohydrates had a slightly lower risk of death compared with the low and high carb groups. So if you eat very little carbs or very high carbs, you've got a slightly more risk of dying early. Carbohydrates include vegetables, fruit and sugar, but the main source of them is starchy foods such as potatoes, bread, rice, pasta and cereals. So interesting that, isn't it? You know, if you're on one of those low carb diets, of which Slimming World isn't that thing, then you could be getting yourself into an early coffin. And you don't want to do that. No, because you'll miss my shows then. And we can't afford to lose viewers or listeners, you know. Very, very bad. John says, I never insure. I just put everything I use in bubble wrap. What, even yourself, John? Even yourself? I've actually made comment at the swimming pool up the road because, of course, all the children are on holiday at the moment. And I think small children leak into the swimming pool. So I've suggested up at the pool that in future, any children that come in there under the age of, say, 9 years old must be put in a sealed plastic bag and placed carefully on top of the swimming pool, and they can stay in there for as long as they want, but they mustn't be allowed to touch the water with their bare skin. There's bits falling off all over the place. It's awful in there. Poor boys, Archie and who's the other boy up there? Oh, I can't remember his name now. Oh, I can't remember. Two really good-looking lads who work up at the pool. Archie and Ben? Is it Ben? Gee, I can't remember the other one's name now. Anyway, they have to keep going around with them sweeper things. You know, those rubber sweeper things. Sweeping bits of children back into the pool. And we're all swallowing it. Absolutely. Oh my God. What is that I've just swallowed? Exactly. Floating around in a pool. No. All children must be placed in large plastic bags and placed carefully in the pool so that they don't make a mess of it. That's it. Thank you, John. Hello to Paul Goddard this morning. Good morning, Paul, who's up there in Sheffield this morning. Good morning to you, sir. Adrian, with the e-cigarette smell, does that mean I can go around farting like mad because I want to? Yeah, exactly. They stink. There's one bloke, and he's such a nice bloke, Paul Knight, who used to come around to the karaoke. Really, really nice bloke he was. But he used to smoke this vanilla e-cigarette. Now, when he comes into the pub, you think, oh, that's quite a nice smell. But then it just carries on, and it's just sweet, stickily, vile smell. It's too much. E-cigarettes. I think they should be banned as well. Some pubs allow them, don't they? Some pubs don't. But there really are clouds of smoke come from these e-cigarettes. Paul, good morning to Paul Gallagher, who's liking the stubble as well. Thank you very much, Paul. It's a young thing. It's us young people have only got this. Old people mustn't have them. Ray Reynolds would look very, very silly if he came in with something like that, I think. Morning to Paul Mosley. Welcome. Well done for joining us this morning, Paul. You get later and later. Was there any point in you turning up for the show? Look, it's 10:15 in the morning now. Exactly. Claire. John, I keep mine at a storage place. £300 a year. What's that you keep? What do you keep at a storage place? Hang on, I want to know what that is now. Paul, hang on. Paul, is she talking to Paul? There with Paul. Oh, I don't know what that is. She keeps something at a storage place, doesn't she? Never mind. So there we are. The iPad repair is going to be 220 quid. It's just outrageous. The box is coming today. No doubt they'll try and deliver that to me while I'm out somewhere. But if it's just a box, presumably they'll just leave it outside the front door or something like that. After that, me and my mate, I went up to the estate agent to drop the keys back because a new tenant moved into one of the properties today at 2 o'clock this afternoon, I suppose. And the estate agent has to send round a cleaner. Having it all professionally cleaned so that when they're moved in, it's all nice and spick and span. And they'll be moving in today, so that's excellent. From there, I got ripped off again because we went to Boots the chemist. Okay, and I bought 4 toothbrush heads for my Oral-B electric toothbrush. £11.99 for 4 little bits of plastic with a brush at the end. More cases of being ripped off. Now, I must admit, I bought some once. They were on eBay or something like that. And they weren't the genuine article, but they looked exactly the same. So I did buy them off eBay once. They were still £6, which I still think is too dear for 4 little bits of plastic with brushes on the end. But the little bits come out. You know, the little wiry bits used to come out. And so they were no good. Don't try and save money. It always goes terribly wrong. Then Ronnie, he had a parcel to drop off at the Amazon locker in Morrison's. Have you seen these Amazon lockers everywhere? So he took that there, and the parcel wouldn't fit in the locker, or there wasn't I think he said there wasn't a locker available. That's quite good, that, isn't it? So instead of them coming round here, they put all your parcels in lockers, and you have to go and collect them yourself, which I suppose really, if they can't leave them at your house somewhere safe, is quite a good idea. Then you can just go and collect it at your convenience. The trouble is these lockers fill up, you know, and as happened yesterday to my mate, there wasn't one available. So he couldn't drop that off there. Then we wanted to go to Aldi, and it was closed. There's a sign outside Aldi. They got these metal shutters down, not all the way, sort of about, you know, so high. And there's a sign on there, closed until further notice. So I don't know what's happened in Aldi, in Bracknell. I mean, I got back here, I was starving, nothing to eat in the house. What I wanted to get was some fat-free yogurts, you see, because in Aldi, they're 68p. Everywhere else, they're nearly £1. So it's worth going there. You've got to know your prices. Not always is every single item cheaper in different places. You know, for example, the most expensive... Where do you think the most expensive fat-free yogurt is? Go on, have a guess. Morrison's. It's £1. Waitrose is 95p. I know all the prices, dear. Oh, yes. I know what. Since I'm doing less work now, since I've semi-retired, I've got more time to spend. Do you know, I was saying this to Ray Reynolds the other day. As nights have gone, or I've dropped nights, one or the other, as that's happened, I seem to have more and more to do. I haven't got enough hours in the day. Seriously. I seem to be busier now than I ever was when I was working. Isn't that weird? I still do 3 nights. That's all I want to do. I don't want any more work now. 3 nights is enough. And God knows it took me long enough to slip into this semi-retirement type thing. I had terrible trouble. Oh, I don't know what to do with myself. Bored to tears. I nearly took on... Well, I tried to take on more jobs, all of which failed before they even started. Over 10 times that happened this year. 10 times jobs that got... Yeah, we're going to start... Oh, we've changed our minds. Oh, well, why did you blooming in the first place? Awful. Terrible. So we couldn't go to Aldi. Came back here for lunch. And then I saw on a news item that Virgin Media, which is how you're watching this programme, Virgin Media, I'm on Virgin Media, got the very fastest broadband, this, that and the other. But they do keep putting up their prices. And they're about to do it again. So I'm actually considering going elsewhere. At the moment, I pay £50 a month. Okay? All I've got for that is a phone and internet. I don't have any television. I don't pay for television other than my £10 a month Netflix subscription. That's all I've got. I will not be paying 30, 40 quid to watch all these channels. I think it's a ghastly waste of money. Unless, of course, you're sitting there watching telly all day long and you're too pig-idle lazy to go out and get a job or something like that. You know, I won't have any of that. But £50 a month I pay. And I've been looking around. And I think I can get the same, not as fast, for 30 quid a month. Now, 30 quid a month would get me something that's like about 25 meg, perhaps through Vodafone or something like that, because they do their own internet thing as well. Through wires, no, you know, not through the 4G. And I'm on 300 meg. But 30 meg or 300 meg, I mean, my mate's he's got the Sky one, I think, which works. I think we did a speed test on his house. It comes to something like 40 meg or something like that. And he don't buffer or anything like that. Do I need 300 meg? Do I need that? And there comes a point, I think, where there's a price and you're thinking, no, that's too dear. Like with the iPad, but I don't have any choice with that. So I'm considering doing it. Now, to do that, I'd have to change a load of my email addresses. I've got an email address, chris@chrisreardon.co.uk. I've got that, right? whereas my NTL address is chris@ntlworld.com. See? Now, some people that I've signed up with, websites, banks, electricity suppliers, that sort of thing, are on the NTL web address. Some are on the chrisreardon.co web address. So I've got to change everything to the chrisreardon.co web address because that goes through a different server and you can point it to wherever your internet service provider is. At the moment, they all point to NTL World. All I'd have to do, if I changed all my emails to chris@chrisreardon.co.uk, then when you send me an email, it goes to, I think it's UK2. I can't remember which company it is now. UK2, they receive the chris@chrisreardon.co.uk email address, and then they forward it to whatever you tell them to forward it to. At the moment, that all forwards to the NTL World. NTL. Which is Virgin Media, part of Virgin Media, right? If I was to change internet service providers, all I would then have to do is go on UK2 and change the forwarding address to my new email thing. You see that? And that's how that would work. Very clever, really, isn't it? It's all very clever and strange and mysterious. That's what it is. So that's how that works. So I've been changing a few email addresses in preparation of a possible change of my internet suppliers. Paul Gallagher, I've read that. Sexy with a stubble. Do you think so? I don't know about sexy. Good morning, Paul Goddle. Says I should be on LBC. No, Paul, they're too political. It's just so serious on there now, Paul. It's not really friendly. Steve Allen I find very amusing still. But it's got very serious and political on LBC. And they just want us to talk about the same things all the time. Brexit, Donald Trump, race, and homophobia. That's all they all ever talk about now. It's so boring on there. There's some good people on there. Steve Allen. I like Nick Ferrari. I like Clive Ball. I think there's a girl on the afternoon. She's not bad. Is it Sheila Fogarty or something like that? What's her name? She's all right. But there's also some very, very boring people on there as well who do my head in. There's no flair. A lot of them haven't got any flair. You know, you might be very highly educated, but you need a bit of flair as well to get on in this life, dear. Adrian Richardson is getting funny looks in Waitrose with me on loudspeaker, so not swearing too much. Sorry, I won't swear in Waitrose. Don't worry, Adrian. Don't worry. Good morning to Irene Rita. Good afternoon to you. Roy, do the maths. By the time you've paid extra petrol to travel, you pay more. What? More for what? I know what you're talking about, Roy. Explain. Ray Reynolds. I'm so trendy, I've got a Davy Crockett hat, a hula hoop and a yo-yo and clackers, a frozen jubbly and mivvy and a drink on a stick, Butterkist and Kiora Sun Crust. Perhaps, Ray, but you haven't got this. You want to keep up with the kids, you've got to have one of these. That's how it is. Adam, have you tried out your new baked beans? Yes. Baked beans now available in the pound shop. 3 tins of HP beans for £1. And they're fine. I tried them. They're all right, they are. HP beans, 3 tins for £1. They're as good as the Branston ones. Because I've bought cheap beans before and sometimes they're not very nice. They've no flavour to them. But the HP ones are, so I'll be stacking up on those soon. I shall make a little trip to the pound shop and get 2 carrier bags full of baked beans, yes. Adrian, Sky 3 boxes fine fibre, super fast, £80 a month. I'm not paying £80 a month, Adrian. 80 quid a month. I'm only paying 50 now. Why would I pay more? No. Vodafone do one for £25 a month. £25 a month. That's the cheapest one I've found. And they're guaranteeing a minimum of 25 meg. Which I personally think that would probably do me. I'm sure it would. Roy, food. You're just answering. Roy, I've lost you completely, mate. Chris, do the math by time. You've paid extra petrol to travel. You pay more. And then you say food. What? I'm not following you at all, Roy. Sorry, mate. I'm not following you there, mate, at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Weird City Citizen, you have to play the game and switch providers every year or two, then go back and get the new deals. They don't look after loyal customers these days. It's all about new business. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're right. I change electricity and gas supplies every year. Every year I change them without fail. Absolutely. Paul says, my internet is about £20 a month. I get a maximum of 35 meg. I don't need the expensive one. Who are you with, Paul? Sky is £20 a month. There you go. Weird City Citizen. Sky, Weird City Citizen, 12 megaseconds, and it's ample. Do you ever get buffering on that at all? Paul pays £40 a month. So there we are, yeah. That's good. John Parrish reckons I look like Help the Homeless. Some old tramp with a beard on the tin. Is that what I look like? Paul's seen the collection box on the stage. Right, Roy says, you pay more for food if you travel every supermarket to get to it. Ah, yeah, but not if it's the way. Now, that you see? Now I can understand that, Roy. That's how you got to type your messages in full. Not just the occasional word, because I know what that's excellent. Yeah, you're right, actually. If you make a specific thing to travel around by car to supermarkets, you're absolutely right. You would pay more. It's like these people that travel 10 miles down the road to save a penny on a litre of petrol. It's costing you more to do it, mate. It is. But I go shopping on my bike. So it kind of part of the keep fit thing, you know, as I cycle from shop to shop, scanning for bargains all over the place. So I did my email change, started changing all my emails over so it would go to the UK2 place. So if I was to change, it would all be quite simple then, you see. I had a swim last night. I did feel sorry. Archie, Sam is the other one, isn't it? Sam is the other. It's Archie and Sam who are the two lads at the swimming pool. Archie was on last night. I was having a conversation with him. I said, is it 10 you close tonight? He said, that's right. I said, right, I'll be out by 1:45. He said, I wish you were all like, everyone was like you. I said, why is that? Do they come in? He said, yeah. He said they get in the pool sometimes at 10 to 10. Well, he closes at 10. You know, and to be fair to that, it's like you people who sit there in the pub. You know, the bell's gone and you want to sit there for 25 minutes. Come on, think of the staff, for Christ's sake. They want to go home. And poor Archie, he's only a young lad, and he's up there, and he said, I wish they were all like you. They come in the pool at 10 to 10, they swim for 10 minutes, and he has to go in there and chuck them out. Oh, well, and you know what people are like? They won't go. You know, we'll just another couple of lengths. I mean, what can you say? You go, get out, go on, go out, get out the door, just turn around now, because you're not welcome anymore. Yeah, and all that one and all. So I went to swim, came back here. It's not so friendly up there at night at the swimming pool, I find. But I have to go at night now because I have to go at a lot of peak times. Well, I say peak, it's not exactly peak time, 8 o'clock at night. There wasn't anyone in there, really. But I used to always go during the daytime, you see. And because I now go up north a lot, I can't use the pool at that time. So it's actually costing me more now because I've had to join the peak time thing so that I can go up there at night times as well. Got back here. It's funny, actually, walking. I come out the swim pool around about 9:30 last night. It's so dark now, isn't it? And it got dark quick. It's like pitch black at 9:30 at night now. So I walked back home, had some of my campfire stew. Ronnie came over and we watched a film, Survival. That was on Netflix. Don't know if you've seen it. I think it was called Survival. And basically something happens and a young man and his girlfriend, she's somewhere and he's somewhere else, and they're having a FaceTime on the thing. Something's happening, and then there's this noise, and the phone just goes dead. So him and her father, who have a lovely relationship, hire a car, no, they don't hire a car. They take their car, and they've got to drive for several days to get to this place in America, obstacles in the way and things like that. And eventually the film finishes and they find the girl and then they drive off, but you never actually find out what the disaster was. Was it an earthquake? Was it aliens? But most incredible lightning storms and all that and what have you in this film. And you never actually found out what it was. Isn't that strange and mysterious? So the film had a really strange ending in it. And I looked at Ronnie and he looked at me, my mate, while we were sitting in the living room. Well, what was all that about? Then we just sat there an hour and a half to try and find out what this was. And they never told us in the end. I do think it was called Survival, something like that. Very, very strange ending that was. Roy, you and Ronnie cosy. Shall I get wedding suit out of the closet? No, thank you, Roy. No, thank you. I went out with him about 28 years ago. Wouldn't touch him with a barge pole now. Too old for me, mate. Who wants to go out with someone who's close to their own age? No, thank you. 35 is my limit. Maybe I might go up to 40. But preferably about 35. That would be my preferred age of other half. He's 10 years older than that, and God does he look it. No, thank you. Friends, and that's it. Always will be. Roy says, have you got the pannier bags on your bike? Yes, I have pannier bags. Years ago, I used to do my shopping. When I was a little boy, I'd carry bags over the handlebars. And I'll never forget, my mum gave us some money to go and get some chips. I went down this chip shop and put them in the bag, put them on the handlebag. And as I cycled along, the bag got caught in the bicycle wheels. And the chips just went everywhere. Mashed up chips all over the pavement in Roehampton. Awful. Oh dear. Let's have a look here. Yeah, he's on ADSL. I didn't know that. So you get 35 meg on ADSL. You never have any problems. It don't cut out. I've heard TalkTalk have got a pretty bad name. There always seem to be people complaining about TalkTalk, so I wouldn't go with them. Paul says, my total Sky is £72. Oh, you got the sport, though, you see. I had to ring for a deal. It was going to be £110. I get HD TV, but I don't want any of that. All I want is internet. That's all I want. I don't even want a landline, to be honest. All I want is internet. The cheapest possible way to get the fastest internet reliable. That's what I'm after. If you threaten to leave, they often give you a good deal. Yeah, I've done that before. I have actually done that before. Weird City Citizen, because you've splashed too many old deers, they've chased him out. They do. They don't look after loyal customers anywhere now. Every year I change my electric and gas. I'm with, who am I with at the moment? Outfoxthemarket.com. Outfoxthemarket, that's my electricity and gas supplier now. Alrighty, we're going to do today's birthdays, and I must get moving. Things to do today, boys and girls. Happy birthday, just 5 birthdays today. Hazel Parker, good morning to you, Hazel. 31 years old today. Happy birthday, Hazel. Trifari Gidley is a young 56 years old today. Happy birthday to you. There's another couple of messages coming through. I'll just do those after the birthdays before we go, okay? Louis. Good morning, Louis Merton. 37. Gosh. How did you get to that, Louis? 37 years old. Happy birthday, Louis. Been a while since I saw you. I left the Two Brewers about a year ago now, darling. When they decided to go till 3 o'clock in the morning. Too late for me, I'm afraid. Happy birthday, Louis. Donal, my good friend Donal Augustine McClafferty. Happy birthday to you, sir. Long time no see. Bingo, karaoke. You're a good chap, you are. Happy birthday, Donal. And Bradley Morris. It's also Bradley's birthday today as well. So happy birthday to you all, boys and girls. Here's the song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Hazel, Trifari, Louis, Donal and Bradley. Happy birthday to you. There we are. She's getting all the names in for a change this morning. Let's have a look here. UK Megaplex, hello to you, who says, we're on SSE, 80 megs down, 20 meg up, £27 a month. Oh, that's one to look at. Let me write that down. Thanks ever so much for that. Thanks ever so much. But at the moment, it's £50 a month is a lot of money. Now, I am tied up for 18 months with that. But, if companies put the price up, you then have 30 days to get out of it, whether you're signed up to a contract or not. Did you know that? I found that out on that Martin, what's his name? Martin's Money website or whatever it's called. You've got, if you get a letter saying the prices are going up, you've then got 30 days to get out of it. My guess is you'd ring them up and say, well, I'm coming away from that because you're putting the price. My guess is you keep you at the same level. I reckon I wouldn't have to switch. But to prepare, I'm starting to change all my emails from my thing that the one I haven't been able to do so far. There's one I wasn't able to do. Who was it now? There was one change I wasn't able to do. Let me have a look there. I can't remember who it was now. It might have been YouTube, actually. There didn't seem to be a way of changing it. You can't change your primary email. You have to set up another account. Can't remember who it was that, but there was one. But I'm changing them all over there in preparation. So, and if it doesn't happen, that doesn't matter. Because you're then prepared. And in future, whenever I sign up to something, it will be on my chris@chrisreardon.co.uk email address rather than the ISP ones. Good. All right, gang, that's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much for joining us. Tonight, I'll be hosting karaoke this evening. That's at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Starts at 8:30 and finishes at 10 midnight. Thank you, Weird Citizen. YouTube through Google. Yes, I think you're right there. I need to go on the Google to change the YouTube one, don't I? That's right. Thank you. It's always good to talk about these things because someone always knows the answer, don't they? All right, so once again, Friday karaoke tonight. Join us at Central Station Bar, 8:30 until 12 midnight. And I'll see some of you down there. Thanks for watching and listening to the show today. And I'll see you again very soon. It looks like a nice day out there, actually. Time to walk to the swimming pool and see who's running it today. Cheerio now.